Hello, my name is Billy Prempeh. I'm a first-generation American, United States Air Force veteran, and I'm also your Republican candidate for the New Jersey 9th Congressional District. I'm coming to you today because I want to warn you about the Marxists who are trying to destroy our country from within by influencing the millennial generation with radical, socialist, anti-capitalistic, and anti-American rhetoric. For decades, the boomer generation has controlled the voting landscape. In 2020, that's changing. Millennials and Generation Z are set to become the next largest voting bloc in America. The problem is, a majority of my generation is so inundated with far-left socialist propaganda that they don't even realize that they're being brainwashed to destroy America. The latest trend is to use the very legitimate issues that are being faced by the African American community as fodder to push for a socialist overthrow of the United States of America. One of the biggest proponents of this is the Black Lives Matter movement and their socialist communist allies, Antifa. These people are trained Marxists, and they have the desire to burn down American society and replace our way of life by using violence if they have to achieve that goal. These are not my words. These are their words.
If this country doesn't give us what we want, then we will burn down this system and replace it. All right, and I could be speaking figuratively. Okay. I could be speaking literally. It's a matter of interpretation.
I also think that it might. I think of a lot of things. The first thing I think is that we actually do have an ideological frame. Myself and Alicia in particular are trained organizers. We are trained Marxists. We are super versed on sort of ideological theories.
This is the reality that we face in 2020. The Democratic old guard is set to step aside, and they're currently pushing and promoting younger, more radical, and more socialist Marxist politicians like the Squad, for example. Congresswoman Ocasio-Cortez, Ilhan Omar, Ayanna Pressley, and Rashida Tlaib. All of them seek to destroy capitalism and the American system. Their unhinged rhetoric has fueled the civil unrest, which has resulted in hundreds of people being shot and dozens being killed. Over 95% of those people that have been shot have been minorities. The very people that Black Lives Matter, the Democratic Party, and Antifa claims to be helping. Yet whenever these tragedies strike, they're nowhere to be found. Black-on-black violence doesn't matter. Hundreds of thousands of African-American babies being aborted doesn't matter. And the death of African-American police officers don't matter either. Because these organizations are not about progress for blacks. These groups are fronts that are using black issues to push for a Marxist ideology and to prop up failed Democrat policies. I plan to use my candidacy to fight against these ideologies, not just here in the 9th District, but across the United States as a whole. These are the keys to winning in the 9th Congressional District. Currently, there's 67,153 Republican voters registered, 199,315 registered Democrat voters, and 178,497 unaffiliated registered voters in the 9th District. The key to winning this race is the unaffiliated voters. Bill Pascrell typically wins with about 120 to 140,000 votes. We need to connect with these unaffiliated voters that have been disenfranchised by Blue Bill Pascrell, who's never helped them, and get them to choose the Red Bill. For decades, people have voted for Democrats that have done nothing for them, especially Congressman Bill Pascrell. Every election cycle, he brainwashes the public by plastering his name all over the place, but when it comes down to when the public needs him, he's nowhere to be found. He stayed in power because the Democrats have a well-organized machine that keeps them in power. The Republican Party, on the other hand, inside these inner cities, they're practically non-existent, and they've given up on the inner city, thus allowing the Democrats to control the narrative and corrupt our electoral process. You see, I'm not just asking you to join the Republican Party. I'm also asking you to help me take over the party. See, when we take control of this party, we can rebuild it here in the inner cities. Right now, we've been represented by Democrats for decades who've done nothing but send us off of a cliff. It's time that we rebuild the Republican Party and we do what's best for our community because they're not doing what's right for us. But unlike the Democrats, we're not going to rely on government handouts. We're going to make these gains through the free enterprise system. We'll change the incentives by offering school choice vouchers to parents so that they can have more control of their children's education. We'll lower the crime through better police training, local community review boards, and working with the Department of Justice to create oversight and transparency in our police departments and creating re-entry programs for our ex-offenders. We'll improve housing by fixing our local zoning ordinances to allow for more housing to be built with fewer unnecessary regulations and fix our terrible public housing system by working closely with the Housing and Urban Development. And most importantly, I'm a big proponent of term limits to prevent these career politicians from being leeches on our republic. I'd also like to organize a number of major events that would clearly benefit our community, such as organizing a healthcare screening day with free tests for high blood pressure and diabetes, or a community cleanup day where people are encouraged to clean up their neighborhoods by providing free dumpsters, or even water testing so that we can prevent lead-contaminated water from reaching our residents. To make this a reality, I'll need to recruit grassroots operatives, up to 500 young men and women who will work with the community, knock on doors, register voters as Republicans, promote the use of vote-by-mail ballots, educate the public on the importance of family, entrepreneurship, fiscal responsibility, smaller government, lower taxes, the Constitution, and of course, to help vote for myself and future leaders that will continue to push these values and lead our country into a better future. But I don't intend on stopping just here in the New Jersey 9th Congressional District. If we're going to do this together, we need to make a long-lasting impact that will benefit the future of the Republican Party and for the next generation. And to do that, we need to spread this program to other cities throughout the United States. Once people see that we care about them and that we're actively doing things to improve their lives, they'll vote Republican and they'll encourage people to vote Republican, and this will change the direction of our country forever. Imagine what America would look like 10 years from now if we're able to educate the youth to get involved in their local communities, to become leaders, business owners, and educators. Imagine what our inner cities would look like if in 10 years our children were given the knowledge and the tools necessary to invest in their neighborhoods, fix abandoned houses, build businesses, and create safer neighborhoods with thriving local economies. All of this sounds great, but actions speak louder than words, and let's not kid ourselves. This is going to require a lot of action, but I'm up to the task. I've laid out a strategic game plan to make sure that we accomplish this, but I can't do this by myself. I'm going to need your help. I'll need your contributions so that I can hire staff, rent space, and feed volunteers. Our first step is a very small one, but it's a very important one as well. We need to just raise $10,000 by August 31st. With that money, I can hire a small team that'll go out and make phone calls, go door to door, and send out text messages. I'll also be able to use that money to print literature and make yard signs for people that are requesting them. It's a very attainable first step, and to put that into perspective, in the state of New Jersey, the maximum you can donate to my campaign is $2,600. If just 4 people did that, we'd hit our campaign goal, and we could begin and get the ball rolling. If you support this message, if you support America, and you support this campaign, please consider making a donation of as much as you're comfortable with. The maximum donation that you can make to the campaign is $2,600. To make that donation, you can go to www.billy2020nj.com/donate. Thank you for listening, and I really hope that you consider helping me and my team with this mission. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America.